Welcome to ClusterCast, real conversations with brilliant indie businesses and the people behind them. No fluff, no buzzwords, just good stories.
Welcome to ClusterCast, featuring me and him.
And you are?
I'm not interviewing today as much as I'd prefer to be. Or am I? Am I interviewing? No.
But you are, by name.
Gotcha. And by in spirit.
I was trying to get your name, David.
Oh.
It's fine, we'll get there eventually.
David.
No.
I'm David.
It's very good. So, no, I do have David Fisher here with me today from Fisher Studios. And I've been trying to get you on the podcast for easily 6 months, maybe more.
Great.
Yeah, and now you're here.
What happened?
I don't know, but you're now second episode of season 2, so welcome to season 2.
Gosh.
Yeah.
This is where listenership starts to climb, isn't it?
No,
Second
it's
series.
not. No, we're doing quite well, actually. So anyway, we've got 6 questions to whiz through in 20 minutes. I want to find out a bit more about you. I know you relatively well, because I've known you for, we were trying to work that out earlier on, 11 years?
Something like that.
12 years. We were both much younger. And we're both still very young. So, and a lot of our listeners are enjoying finding out about how people started their business, what things they find tricky, some advice that you've sort of the way you sort of run your business at difficult times and things like that. So, and we've had some comments saying they've really enjoyed sort of getting that information and using it. So good luck. No pressure. So tell us a bit about you. As Mr. David Fisher, and tell us about Fisher Studios. So obviously you're a photographer, videographer, but tell me more.
Yes. So I'm not a videographer.
Right, I did really well.
Okay.
Note to self.
I'm a photographer, have always been just a photographer,
Okay.
believe in doing what you're good at.
Yep.
And I guess that's my specialism, stills.
Yep.
I have played with the idea of going into video, but have resisted.
Okay.
And I feel that that is one of the strengths and one of the reasons why I've survived as long as I have.
Okay.
I've been in business for 25 years. So,
as Fisher Studios? Or?
Well, I started as David Fisher Photography.
Okay.
And changed name about 10 years later to Fisher Studios as I attempted to build the brand and for the business to be about more than just me.
Yeah, okay.
So...
and it's now, how many of you are there? Obviously, there's yourself.
There are 7 of us.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so
that's grown. That's definitely grown.
4
in the
photographers
last,
and 3 others.
That's superb.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive. Very
So
well
I guess when my little girl came along in 2010. 2011. I got that wrong, didn't I? That decade, the 2010s, she came along.
God.
And I realised that I couldn't work all the hours under the sun, and I needed to be a little bit more grown up about the business and started looking at ways of growing it. And that's when I did the name change and started employing people.
It's quite hard to let go, though, when you start the business as yourself and you were the sort of face of the business, and you still are to a degree. And, you have a huge amount of respect around Oxford. When I talk to people, they know who you are, they know who Fisher Studios are. It's quite hard to, it is certainly, I'm 2 years in and I'm finding it quite hard to let go and actually have other people come in. But it does slow down growth if you don't do that. But so I'll get some tips from you afterwards about how you do that. And
it does happen. It's one of the many things that we worry about in the early days of our business.
Yeah.
That once you actually start doing, you find solutions to.
Okay, good. Hopefully. So if you could go back to the start of, I guess, David Fisher Photography or Fisher Studios, what would you tell the slightly younger version of yourself when you were just starting up? And give us a bit of a history about how you ended up getting into photography and that sort of thing.
Sure. Okay.
Please. I've got my manners.
So, simple things persevere. My business only succeeded, if you like, on the 3rd iteration of it.
Oh, really?
The first 2 attempts, I had to go back to a proper job.
Okay.
The time that it finally worked, I was working part-time at the Phoenix Picture House, actually.
Oh, wow.
So initially, I was working in the day as an assistant, and being quite new to Oxford, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
So walking past the cinema one day, I saw that there was a sign in the front window saying, looking for ushers. I thought, well, I've got nothing to do in the evening. I don't know anyone.
It's a great place to work as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I started as an usher there, just tearing tickets. And I have to say, it was one of the most enjoyable jobs
it's a nice
I've ever
place.
had.
Yeah.
Because where else do you get to meet a couple of hundred people and have a face-to-face interaction with them in the course of just 10 minutes?
Yeah.
And what I really loved about it was this notion that you had milliseconds to create some kind of sense of connection with someone before they went in, and you had to sort of decide, did they want to engage with you, or did they just want you to tell them which screen to go to?
Just
one
give
or
me
two?
directions. I want to go in.
And so that's, I guess, that was one of my sort of founding jobs that I really loved, and has become, in a way, a guiding star to my portrait photography. And
I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, there's a ton of lessons there, I suppose, because the work you do is quite, I was saying this to Jason on episode 2, 3, that it's quite personal when you're taking someone's portrait and you're photographing them. And so it's often just the two of you in the studio, or maybe with an assistant as well. So actually doing that job, I imagine, for a lot of people, if they're looking to get into photography, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad start, right?
Sure.
So, and you got to know a load of people.
Yeah. I mean, photography is very much about psychology, really, and your ability to very quickly make someone feel relaxed in front of the camera.
And what was it's got nothing to do with it, I'm just curious.
Much like you do with your podcast.
Do I? Oh, thank you. Well done. I'll pay you later. What was the first film you saw at the Phoenix when you started working there? Because you would have got free tickets, right?
The Butcher Boy.
Wow.
Which is very relevant considering where we are now.
Yeah, no, well done. We're in Old Slaughterhouse a long time ago. Who was in that? I don't think I know that film. Should I know that?
It was an Irish film. I can't remember.
Okay.
No one famous.
Not a massive hit then. Not a massive hit.
Oh, it was big at the time.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, well, I'll look it up afterwards. So what does a really good day look like for Fisher Studios now? And what does a tough, difficult day?
Well, a good day would be all of the team out taking photographs.
Yep.
Ella, my wonderful studio manager, tapping away busily in the background, booking in jobs and dealing with the to and fro, delivering our work.
Yep.
Lots of invoices at the end of the day.
Oh, it's the best, yeah.
Pretty
invoices
standard
going
kind of
out,
issue.
not coming in.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Those ones are so depressing. And on the flip side of that, what's a difficult or more tricky day without throwing anybody under the bus?
Customers chasing you for work.
Okay.
Customers asking the question, did you take any photos of XYZ?
Oh my God. Did I do any of those? Because I've been a customer.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. You're probably still chasing an invoice. Thanks. Thanks very much. So that's the toughest day, is just dealing with me on a daily basis. Okay, brilliant. And then this is a bit of a sort of weird question that I've thrown in, but what's the weirdest thing? So I know when I was starting up the cluster 2 years ago, I still Google everything. I do use Claude and ChatGPT to ask questions to, because it's like a friend that basically can't escape. So what's the weirdest thing you've Googled as a photographer, or as a human being for your business?
That question was one that I really struggled with, and I think was the only question that I came into this podcast thinking,
and you thought, oh my
God, how the heck am I going to answer that? Because, well, I mean, I guess I do use Google a lot, but the best I could think, which wasn't very interesting, was perhaps Googling what the VAT threshold was. And that pretty much sums up my perspective to business.
25
but
years,
now I thought of an answer, and that is, what am I glad that I didn't Google? And now I realise what it is.
Okay.
It is, what does the rubber thing on the end of my pen actually do? Because you told me, and I'm glad I didn't have to Google
Are you going to tell
that.
everybody? Or should we let them find out for themselves?
Oh, no, you use it to scroll on the phone.
I can't believe you didn't know
Because
that.
I tell you what, I didn't think it was a very good rubber when I tried it.
Did you actually try to rub out the pen?
Yes.
You did realise it was a pen and not a pencil?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
you do have an assistant, right? They should know better.
They didn't know either.
It's disgraceful.
Yeah.
So you do your own range of pens as well, don't you?
Apparently.
Yeah, with not rubbers on the top. So no, that's pretty. I'm glad you didn't Google that, because that would be a weird one in the search history. What is this weird thing on the top of my pen? Although I'm jealous because I don't have any branded pens yet. So anyway, so is
Next
there...
step in business.
I know, 2 years down the line, I'll make some branded pens. I've got branded coasters.
Nice.
You see my coasters?
Yeah,
Embroidered.
and your business cards are lovely.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So do you have because you're a pretty healthy guy, right? You cycle everywhere. I'm only saying this because I'm in awe, because I don't cycle or do anything healthy. Do you have a ritual that keeps you sort of vaguely calm and sane when you're running this business? You've got a lot of staff, and Is there something you do daily just to find a space for
Yeah.
you and to try and make sense of your business?
So I don't necessarily do it daily,
Okay.
but I mean, I thought there were two aspects to this question. One, I thought immediately my question was, what do I do from a business perspective
Yes.
to remain sane?
Yeah.
And I have to admit that the first thing I do in the morning usually is my books, because I love doing my books.
What is your account?
Yes,
Wow.
exactly.
In the morning?
I know, but I know you didn't want that answer. But
How early?
you know,
How early are you up?
as early as I can manage.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're going to say like
It's a
6
good way of
a.m. or something.
resetting it. You know, it's good to see
Okay.
where you are.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that is true actually. Yeah.
And that is genuinely what I do to kind of
Doesn't that
find
just-
balance. But I know that's not what you
But doesn't
meant.
that
What
just
you
instill
really meant is
panic as
something-
well? So on some days when you're like, oh my God, I need more money.
But it
Or was that just
it
me?
clarifies
That's
where
just
you're
me.
at. And I guess, you know, that's the thing with business is
Yeah.
that you can't be the sort of person that gets too terrified
Yeah.
of being in the red.
Yeah.
You have to be more the sort of person that sees that you're in the red and thinks, right,
What can
what
I
am I
do?
going to do today
Yeah.
to deal with
Yeah.
that? How am I going to change if I'm in the red today and I wasn't yesterday?
Yeah.
What's changed? What do I need to do today to turn it back around? But I know what you actually meant by that.
Well, no, 'cause
question
that
is,
is an
what do I
annoyingly
do?
good answer. That is an annoyingly good answer.
But
so,
what
yeah.
you wanted me to say is that so I love the river. One thing about Oxford that I've always loved is the
you're a
river.
wild swimmer.
So I am, but only
Wow,
recently.
okay.
But actually, for the last over 20 years, I've been a rower, and I still am.
Okay.
So
on your
I
own
row.
or in a team or?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my own boat, but I'm also regularly in a
Okay.
quad and other crew boats.
Brilliant.
But mostly my single has been my saviour. I love being out
Just
in the
being out
river.
on your own.
And rowing is a great way of just losing
Yeah.
yourself in your activity.
Yeah.
You know, in the same way that people say yoga is, for instance. But in recent years, since COVID, I've very much got into wild swimming. So, you know, it's kind of, for me, the river is everything. And that would definitely be my way of resetting and keeping sane.
That you're literally the second person. So Rob in the last podcast said exactly the same about wild swimming. It's just a moment where he can just escape. Maybe it's being under the water or not being contactable, right? No one can get hold of you. No one can call you. No one can, social media you.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm a bit too scared of what's underneath the water. The only times I've ever been wild swimming is when I fell in because I was drunk.
Right.
But I should try it.
That would have been a different feeling.
I might just do like outdoor pools, Lidos. That I could cope with. But it's the
Yeah.
idea of wild swimming in a river. Do you actually go in rivers?
Yeah. And really cold water swimming too.
So
That's now starting
Jesus.
to really appeal to me.
So are you going to do the? There's a thing at Blenheim. Is it the triathlon?
Triathlon.
Or,
Yeah, I've done that once. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you did
yeah.
all because my friend did one part of that. She did the lake swim.
Right.
Somebody else did the cycle. Somebody else did the run.
Yeah.
You did all three bits.
Yeah. It's only a little swim, that one, but
Is
yeah,
it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
quite a big lake.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
well,
I'm
you
impressed.
Swim across it.
I might come and see you do. Yeah,
Hmm.
no, it's terrifying. Okay, I preferred the first answer. I'm going to stay in the warm and do my books. So
The river's warm at the moment. Go
it
for it.
is. It's not that clean, is it?
That's lovely.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. Just don't drink it.
No, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
So people are listening, which I'm pleased to say is it's really exciting. And if they're thinking about taking the leap into starting their own business, you've already given us some really interesting and useful advice. But is there one thing or one or two things that you might say to them, apart from sort of persevere, do your books, go swimming, and you've given lots of other advice as well. But is there one thing you might say to them when they're thinking of starting out the business and they're looking at whether they can do it? Do they have a good idea? Are they the right person to start a business? Would there be one piece of advice you'd give them?
Well, you have to want to do it,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I think you also have to be a bit of a risk taker.
Mm.
You have to be willing to, take those risks and be able to manage and cope with them, and not it not totally stress you out.
Yeah.
I think you should only do it if that's the sort of person you are. I mean,
Although
and that's something that I think you can only know yourself. But maybe finding someone as a mentor.
Yeah. But would you say you've got better at that? So when you first started your business, you obviously you do have to be a risk taker, but do you find that you've got better at taking risks as you've developed your business? Because I think when you first start, you want everything to be right, or you want everything to work. You don't want to be a failure. I found just 2 years in that I care about my business massively, but I'm not so worried about the things that don't always go right, as you were saying at the start. You know, you go back to the drawing board and you work out what you can do to get more business in, or how you can pivot, or how you can change. Do you feel that over 25 years that you've got more confident and you're not so worried? Because you've just been through enough to sort of...
So I think back to where I was 25 years ago, and I think on a lot of levels I was quite naive about the risk.
Yeah.
But actually also now I think I probably take bigger risks.
Okay.
So that would suggest that I'm better at taking the risks.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I guess, when you take risks and they pay off, then that obviously makes you confident in taking more risks.
Yeah, taking more
but
risks.
also when you take risks and find yourself in the shit. Sorry, can I say that?
Of course you can. Yeah, swear away. I don't mind. Because we've all been found ourselves
but
in
then
the
you
shit.
get out of it, you come out the other side.
Yeah.
Then that makes you gives you more experience of the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And so you become a little bit more resilient to that risk.
That phrase is the phrase that I sort of live with now, which is like, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. And do you know, actually, the great Gemma...
Yes, Gemma Proctor from One Limited, yes.
Once said to me, when we were talking about that very thing, risk, she said, what's the worst thing that could happen to us? That we could end up on a park bench in South Park? Is that actually going to happen? I don't think that's going to happen to us. But if that's the worst thing that could happen, actually,
not so bad.
South Park's quite a
It's
nice
not
place.
so bad. I like that
wouldn't
she
be
chose
so
South
bad,
Park
would
and
it?
not like, somewhere really dodgy.
Yeah.
But no, she always had some good advice, actually.
Yeah,
I miss that.
Yeah, that really stuck in my head. I only just thought of that. I didn't bring that with me, actually.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm saying thank you. You didn't say it about me. Did I give you any
pearls
pearls of wisdom?
But you chose Gemma as well in your life path.
She gave me a job.
So, but you chose her to give you a job.
That is true. That is
I
true.
believe.
Yes.
She didn't willingly give you a job.
She didn't. I coerced her into giving me a job.
Yeah.
She'll tell you that story one day. Have
You
never
were
heard?
you were like that little stray dog that ended up on her
How do you know that story?
Are you told?
That's what she used to call. Oh yeah, that's what she used to call me. Yeah, the dog in the home that no one wants to take home.
Oh no, she didn't tell me that. I described it as that, but you paint it in another way.
That's quite
I
funny.
turned it into the stray dog.
So there's always a random question at the end, and we did sort of talk about this before, and I'm sorely disappointed that you don't have the same feeling about toast and butter as I do, but because you're
I'm going to have to stand
butter
by
and be damned,
my
aren't you?
original feeling on this is that you need to get the butter on it as quickly as you can.
I don't
because especially if
understand.
you're using actual butter,
Yeah.
that is quite hard, isn't it?
Yeah, but you
I mean,
don't-
personally, I wouldn't use butter at all because it's just impractically
What
hard.
do you use?
More like what's the?
Don't say margarine.
No, not margarine.
No, I was going to say you're a
What's the
healthy
mix?
guy.
What's the middle ground between margarine and butter? It's like
I can't believe it's
that
not
soft,
butter.
Yeah,
That is so old. They don't do that anymore.
that soft butter, spreadable butter.
Spreadable butter.
Just
That's with
spreadable
vegetable
butter.
oil in. Oh yeah, but proper. Like we're going to get.
Well, you
it's
can't
going to get
spread
heated
that,
now.
so you need to cut it off in chunks, put it on the toast,
it's the
wait for it to
dream.
melt enough so that it's spreadable.
Oh, it's so weird.
But what you could do is leave it in the toaster for a little bit longer, and that makes it harder, doesn't it? Or as an ex-girlfriend used to do, she used to make toast towers.
Little pyramid.
Yeah,
That's exactly
yeah.
what Rob was saying last week. That's what his wife does.
Right.
So does your wife? Does she also butter straight out of the toaster?
Do you know she's not really a toast person?
Oh, is she not?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you've ruined that
Sadly.
question.
So-
But actually, I could ask you a
shut that
question
down.
more to do with photography, maybe. So,
Okay.
so if you had to live in a world without, cameras, or this is cruel because I think I know the answer. I was going to say, your children, no, or tripods.
Cameras or tripods?
I'm only saying that because I can see tripods obviously in our podcast
Gosh.
studio, and I'm
God,
wondering
that is
you'd have to
such
have
a
three more
random-
people holding them.
That is such a random
I
question.
know, look,
Well, I would
random
say
question.
I would say metaphorically, I think that you need the tripod because how many analogies are there in the world that rely on the tripod analogy?
But what came first, the tripod or the camera?
Well, it would have to be the tripod, wouldn't it?
But then you just got a tripod without taking
because
photos.
the tripod analogy has been one that I think cavemen talked about around.
Are you making this up? You're making this up
genuinely,
now.
I think they did because
they?
all good sound principles are based on three elements.
Three, yeah, that is true.
Yeah, not two elements.
That's
but it
true.
falls
Actually.
down.
Yeah, I've just bought my.
And it was only in latter years that they started like a four-legged analogy and a table.
Oh, I see.
So it all starts with
I
the
can't tell if
tripod.
you're just pulling my leg.
Even before the wheel came
Just
along,
so
Cave,
making
and
it
we're
up now.
talking about the tripod.
I've just bought my first tripod as well. Yeah, I'm very
Great.
excited. And a gimbal.
They're a bit old-fashioned now.
Oh,
aren't they?
great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair
Generally,
enough.
they are a bit old-fashioned. I mean, I see them here, but photographers don't generally
They just
use
employ
tripods anymore.
people to hold the cameras with 3 legs.
Stills photography is too fast-moving these days.
Oh, that's fine. You
require
probably don't have that
tripods.
many, do you?
Yeah.
Well,
In my opinion.
on that bombshell, which I'm sure I'm going to Google that later on. On that bombshell, thank you for coming on my podcast.
Oh, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I think he's telling the truth. But yes, thank you very much, Mr. Fisher. And
I knew that I'd spend more time laughing and smiling than I would talking.
I think
so-
that's good. But do tell us where people can find out about you, your website, your Instagram address. Do you know all of those off by heart?
Oh, I have to tell them to you.
Yes,
Don't they
please.
just flash up?
No,
on the
no,
screen?
you have to tell me.
So fisherstudios.co.uk.
Write them down.
That's the main one.
Fisherstudios.co.uk. Is it still our website? Or have you? 'cause
Oh,
we did it ages
it's
ago.
basically
based on it.
it's based on.
I didn't mean
yes.
to start. That was really horrible.
Founded by an original one design.
Yeah, it's a great website. And your Instagram, do you have stuff on Instagram if people want to
Yes.
see the photos?
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
that's all there.
Fisher Studios.
UK, something like
Fisher
that.
_studios.
Yeah.
We will flash it up somewhere.
The team deal with all
We
that.
will flash it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
somewhere. Brilliant.
I'm
Thank you
old
very
school.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Should we
Thank
leave it on
you,
that? I'm old school. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. Please do follow us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram as well on @theclusterox. And if you're interested in what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you're not, don't. Thanks. If you've enjoyed this episode, give us a follow, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, tell a stranger. Most importantly, go and support an independent business this week.